Thinking of moving to Oklahoma City this year, but you want to know the cold hard facts, the lowdown, the whole enchilada. Actually, that sounds really good. Anyway, you want to know the no-nonsense pros and cons of OKC? Stick around. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Nearly every day I speak to somebody looking to move here to Oklahoma City from California, Oregon, Texas, Ohio, New York, Chicago, and many other places around the country. What I find to be the most valuable info when making any meaningful decision is weighing the pros and cons. When I first started this channel, I did cover some pros and cons, but if you're looking to move to Oklahoma City this year, I think it's time to revisit this conversation. On that note, if you're looking to move to the Oklahoma City area this year and you haven't reached out to me, I don't know what you're waiting for. I have been fortunate enough to help several families move to OKC this year, and I would love the opportunity to do the same for you. You're going to find my contact information in the description below, so please feel free to shoot me a call, a text, or an email, and I will certainly get back to you to help you find that perfect home here in OKC. Now, with that aside, let's talk about some pros. Oklahoma City has some of the most affordable housing of any major city in the United States. With a median home price of around $260,000, you might find it surprising to know that the cost of housing here is nearly 30% lower than the national average. With a median home price across the United States approaching $450,000, you can probably see the appeal of Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City has a cost of living that is nearly 13% lower than the national average. We are all living in a world where it seems like every trip to the grocery store is costing yet another arm and yet another leg. Add on top of that the increasing cost of healthcare, transportation, childcare, and all of the other everyday expenses, and we all know they add up quickly, so any relief we can get is very helpful. And for many people, OKC offers a little relief. I actually made a video with a full breakdown of the cost of living here in Oklahoma City, so I'll leave a link down in the description. I've heard Oklahoma City referred to as the Big Friendly, and I'm not sure I've ever heard anyone say that here. However, it is a reality that people here are generally just very friendly. When I was growing up, I had siblings that lived out of state, and I remember they would say, people here in Oklahoma are just so nice. And based on what many of my clients tell me, that still seems to be true today. So as long as you don't get bothered by friendly chats at the grocery store or somebody stopping you at a restaurant to tell you they like your outfit, honestly, it's kind of nice. Oklahoma City is a great city to live in if you enjoy outdoor activities. Not only do we have an average of 235 sunny days every year, we have a ton of places here in OKC to enjoy the outdoors. Whether it's Lake Hefner, Arcadia, or Draper, or the wide variety of parks here in OKC, including Scissortail Park, Myriad Gardens, Martin Park Nature Center, Hafer Park, or countless others, there's a ton to experience right here in the city. Not to mention beautiful areas outside of the city, like Wichita Mountains Wildlife Refuge or Roman Nose State Park as a couple examples. I talk a lot about this on this channel, but I actually really love that here in Oklahoma City, we get to experience all four seasons. And sure, that means we do experience some extreme heat during part of the summer. And sure, the cold can be a little bit much with the classic Oklahoma wind chill during the winters. But to me, that's a fair trade-off for the amazing falls that we get to experience and the temperate springs, which we all enjoy. If you're someone who loves sports, you'll be happy to know that OKC does too. Everyone here loves their Thunder basketball, and we really love college football here as well. In addition to that, if you're a baseball fan, you'll love the summertime where there will be several home games to go watch the OKC Dodgers. We also have the Women's College Softball World Series here in Oklahoma City every year. So suffice it to say, we love our sports. Oklahoma City has always had quite the resilient economy. Even during the Great Recession of 2008, OKC stayed quite strong. With relatively low unemployment numbers, it had much less impact here versus the rest of the country. And that remains true today, with job growth still happening here in 2023. With job opportunities continuing to grow in many industries here, such as aerospace and defense, energy, and healthcare, the outlook on the OKC economy is a positive one. As mentioned on this channel before, the weather here in Oklahoma in general can certainly be unpredictable. Additionally, we have extreme temperatures here, so getting used to the heat waves in the summer or the wind chills in the winter can be challenging for some. And while tornadoes aren't quite as frequent as many people seem to think, they do occur here. So I can understand the possibility alone can make some people uneasy. I went into the Oklahoma weather in more detail in another video, so I'll put a link in the description to check that one out as well. If you're going to be moving from somewhere where driving really isn't a necessity, you may find it a con that you'll likely need a car to live here in Oklahoma City comfortably. With OKC being the 8th largest city in the United States by area, it takes about 20 minutes to get almost anywhere. On top of that, public transportation leaves a lot to be desired here. So even though it's always improving, you'll likely find a car to be a necessity. Thankfully, population density is actually pretty low here, so traffic is not nearly as bad as it can be in most major cities. So whether or not this one is a con is of course going to be a matter of opinion. But it's worth knowing that Oklahoma as a whole is a very politically conservative state. Oklahoma has voted Republican in every presidential election since 1968. Now with that said, OKC is far more diverse than the state would indicate, with voting behaviors indicating a more even split down the middle. Now, I don't really care to discuss my own political beliefs, as I'm honestly a little more apolitical these days, or dare I say, I'm someone with nuanced opinions. But I do think it's possible to live here with political opinions all your own. But don't let it surprise you that folks here care about things like gun rights and generally want the government out of their lives and businesses here in Oklahoma. Oklahoma has been ranked the 18th most challenging place to live with spring allergies by the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America. And even though I didn't know this foundation existed until doing some of the research for this video, it's kind of hard to argue. As someone who's suffered from seasonal allergies my entire life, I have grown somewhat tolerant, but just a fair warning, these Oklahoma allergies are nothing to sneeze at. Did you know that Oklahoma City is one of the top cities in the country for retired veterans? There are exceptional tax benefits here in OKC for retired and disabled veterans. As a result, we have nearly 42,000 retired veterans residing right here in Oklahoma City. I consider that a definite pro. Another pro I didn't quite dig into in this video is the abundance of fun activities here in OKC during the summertime. If you'd like to hear me dive a little more deeply into that, I recommend you check out this video right here. And until next time, I certainly hope to see you soon. See ya.